February 24th, 2024. So I'm going to tell a little story. I decided that I was going to count everything that I own in my dorm room today. So I have 2 roommates, but I'm only counting the things that I own. And I'm just curious to see how many things I own. Most of this will be a time lapse. Also, if there's like a pair of something like shoes or socks, I'm only going to count it up as one, as well as like bed sheets. I'll count with both sheets and the pillowcase is one thing. But most things I'll count separately, like pens and pencils and markers. I'm planning on counting separately. I think pieces of gum I'll count together, just as one pack of gum. First, I'm going to start with clothes because that's definitely the biggest item. I have this whole closet plus a hamper full right now, and then a whole dresser also. So I have a lot of clothes.
And a clock, which is 18.
Okay, so now here is my recap of counting everything that I own in my dorm room. So first of all, for clothes, I had 197 things from hanging clothes to the dresser, 13 pairs of shoes, 54 hair ties and hair clips, 89 hair ribbons. For stationery in school, I had 107 writing and erasing utensils, 26 books and notebooks, 18 items of technology, 4 miscellaneous items, 17 containers and bags like backpacks, pencil bags, etc., 2 Bibles. For daily life, which is kind of vague, but linens like towels and sheets, I had 9 items, 2 water bottles, 41 items of jewelry and toiletries, 2 coats, 2 belts. For scarves, hats, and sunglasses, I have 10 in my room. I have 9 decorations. I counted if it was like a group of Bible verses on the wall. I counted them all as one. Calendar as one. 3 items in my purse. 38 postage items, as far as 1 sheet of stamp is 1 item. 1 postcard is 1 item. And then 13 miscellaneous things that I had forgotten to count earlier. So that brings the total to 656. If somebody else were to go into my dorm room and count everything that I own, they would probably come up with a different number. It could be maybe hundreds of items of a difference, because there are some things that I grouped together. I know that when I bought my hangers, I know that it was 2 packs of 25 hangers each. So I counted all my hangers as 2 hangers. But my markers, which technically a lot of them were from the same pack, I counted them all individually. Same with hair ties, I counted them all individually. Also, I'm pretty sure that I missed a few hair ties, so that would change the number. I counted my belts and the scarves with my clothes, but then I found 3 more clothing items. So then I was like, well, I'll just count my 2 belts and my 1 scarf with my hats and gloves and stuff. So it actually took me not very long to count everything. It was pretty quick. I would say the hardest part was definitely organizing them into categories and just making a decision of how I want to categorize something. It would have been a lot more helpful if I would have had a spreadsheet on the computer instead of writing it down, because with pen you can't erase, and so there are some items that I wish I could have just erased and then added somewhere else. I did by the end have a scrap piece of paper, which I wrote stuff down on to remember to count it later on. Oh, I forgot to count a neck gaiter. Well, 657 things actually. And also in the process, I got rid of 2 things. I got rid of 1 hair ribbon and I got rid of 1 bandana. I would say it's kind of fun to do this if you are curious to know how many items that you own. It's not that helpful, but I guess it kind of helps you count your blessings, because you can see everything that God has provided for your life, and it's like, why worry about anything if He's already given me 656 items that help me live every day. Hopefully that was somewhat interesting to all of you, and now you can listen to yesterday when I talked about the rest of my week from my journal. So I'm going to tell a little story about what I'm going to be doing this summer. At the end of last summer, last summer I worked at a camp called Camp Choye in Eastern Texas. It was a pretty big camp and I liked it a lot. There were a lot of things that I liked about it, but a lot of my friends that I made in the first half of the summer just worked the first half of the summer, or for whatever reason weren't there at the end of the summer. And so at the end of the summer I felt really lonely, just because most of my better friends that I had made had left already. And so I am a huge proponent, like I think that everybody should go and move somewhere, at least for a summer, where they don't know a single person and be completely new somewhere. And it's really fun, and I like opportunities like that a lot. Like that's pretty much how Ecuador was for me. Like when I went to Israel, I didn't know anyone I was going with, and for sure same with Texas. But I just remember at the end of last summer being like, next summer I need to be somewhere where I have friends whom I already know, and I need to be better at building into relationships that I already have, instead of always just going to a new place with a whole bunch of strangers. It definitely is not necessarily like me as far as what I've done the past couple summers to go somewhere where I already know people. I tend to, when I hear of like even like a summer camp or something, if I know somebody who's worked there before, I kind of cross it off my list, because I just don't want to be like other people. I want to be different, I guess. That sounds super conceited, which maybe it is. But I like going places where I don't know anybody. Before I started college, I wanted to go to a Bible college not close to home. And there were a lot of different reasons why I ended up not going there and ended up going to the college at home. But one of the things is my mom kind of said, well, Hattie, if you stay here, then you can go anywhere that you want to over the summers. So I definitely didn't picture going somewhere where I knew people, because like the past 2 summers I went overseas for at least several weeks, and I never went anywhere where I knew anybody. I think that I've learned, hopefully, from my experiences of I do really like making friends. Like some of the people I met on my Israel trip are super good friends still. But I think that, I guess, close long-term friendship is more important to me than I thought it was before. So back in September and October, I visited my friend Faith, who lives up in northern Utah on Bear Lake, and she moved there last summer and she worked at a campground all summer, and then she worked through the school year, and so I visited her with another one of my friends from college, and we stayed with her for a weekend, and it was really fun. But basically, I've been thinking and praying about working with her this summer, and I knew that that was kind of an opportunity. So then in January, my roommates and I called my friend Faith, and we talked to her a little bit about it, and her dad, Faith's dad, was gonna speak in chapel like 2 days later. So then he came and spoke in chapel, and he's really good at preaching, and he talked about how they wanted 5 students from the Bible college that I go to work at the campground / resort, that he also has a job there, but he's planting a church in southern Idaho right across the lake from there, and Faith works there. And so he said that that company was looking for 5 students to go work there over the summer, and they had a few different positions open. And so he gave us the information to apply. I applied and I got the job. So this summer in May, I'm going to be moving there, and I have several other friends who are moving there, which is super exciting. And we're gonna live on Bear Lake, so we're gonna get to swim and paddleboard and kayak. And we're also hoping to run a lot, which is really exciting, and work at that campground. So I'm gonna work at like a desk job, kind of like a guest services person, which is really exciting. And then I'll live in a camper with my friend Faith for the whole summer, which will be super fun. And yeah, I'm super excited. And that's just a little announcement. So if you guys want to pray for me for that, that would be great. I'll be there from May through like end of July-ish, getting to do a lot of ministry with an old church plant and then a new church plant too. Just getting to meet a lot of people, because it's a lot more urban than where I live right now. Okay, bye guys.